Hey, this is OmniDog, also known as Jess. For these purposes, I'm going to call myself Jess because this is a promo for a new show called A Walk in the Woods at Midnight, where we are going to review scary movies once a week with my co-host Jen. Jen, how's it going?
It's going okay. I'm really excited to do a show like this because I love horror films, and no one in my life likes them. No one will go with me to the theater. No one will watch them with me on Netflix. So we're far away from one another, but I found a horror brother. So I'm super excited to talk about. I'm super excited to talk about the different movies that are horror, but also like we like a certain genre. We don't love slasher movies. We don't love like body horror. A lot of it's just kind of got to be psychological and occultish. So
Right.
those are the movies we're going to really focus on, I think.
Right. I think we share. First of all, I'm in the same boat. My wife won't go with me to movies. I have a movie buddy that goes to superhero films with me that will not go to scary movies with me. So I'm alone there too. I also don't particularly care for slasher films or torture porn. I like, and I think we've talked enough where we like the same kind of sort of the things unseen, the supernatural, the occult kind of thing, where you can't. I don't need blood to be scared. I like
Mm,
it when I can't see what I when there's something there that's gonna happen, but I don't know where it's coming from, and the person that's gonna have it happen to him doesn't know where it's coming from.
mm-hmm.
I like demons. I like angels. I like occult stuff, as you said. I like witches. Um, I do have a fondness for the supernatural. Uh, I'm I'm not big on zombie outbreaks, but if it's done right, I'm okay with that. But
That's
and
so weird. I also am I don't find zombies that scary. I don't know if it's because they're so dumb and I feel like I could kill them where I wouldn't be able to kill like a supernatural force. Maybe that's why. I don't know. I don't know if that plays into your dislike of them at all.
I don't know. I don't really. I mean, I found as a kid one of the movies I saw as a kid. Of course, I'm a lot older than you and older than probably most of the audience, since I've been around a while. But I mean, I saw the original cut of Night of the Living Dead, and when I was 11. So now that was a zombie movie that freaked me out. But I haven't been freaked out since then about zombies. Now, if it's done right, vampire movies can uh, freak me out. I grew up on Hammer films with like Christopher Lee and things like that. So I mean, vampire movies, if they're done right, and I need to see. You've already seen it, but I need to see Let the Right One In, which I believe is Swedish.
I think it's Swedish, yeah.
Yeah, I need to see that, and that's one thing that I think you and I agree on. We like foreign films, and we don't mind the subtitles, and
Hmm.
so I need to see Let the Right One In. That sort of atmospheric vampire thing that I really like.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think just the settings are really or the moods are really important to us, I
Hmm.
think. It's like being able to feel like you're in that world is really kind of important. I grew up on slasher films like um Nightmare on Elm Street and Halloween and trying to think of what else? Friday the 13th, stuff like that. And I don't know. I sort of like I really liked Nightmare on Elm Street, but I think it's only because it had that element of like he can only get you in your sleep. You, you know, like obviously with all those films, a lot of it is like, you know, those who are sexually active or who are doing something wrong always get, you know, get killed. And then as I got older, I was kind of like, that doesn't make any sense. I don't know. So I kind of stopped liking those films, and I rewatched it, the first Nightmare on Elm Street and also Hellraiser, and the special effects don't hold up. That's kind of another issue with movies that are slasher films. They depend so heavily on, you know, the technology of the time, I think.
Right. I remember I saw Hellraiser and I actually liked it. But gosh, that feels like that was a late 80s film, it feels like to me. Is that when it came out?
I think it did.
Like
I can't
late
look it up,
80s
but
or 90? I remember reading the book. The books.
oh, I didn't even know it was a book.
Oh yeah, Clive Barker wrote a bunch of short stories, and he's a great author. Clive Barker is a great author, and I mean, for those of you who don't know me as OmniDog and just are looking at this for the first time, my main passion, as you can see behind me, is comic books, and I like reading a lot, and so I've read Clive Barker's short stories and some of his long form stories. But yeah, Pinhead is a guy that came out of some of his stories. I never saw any of the other Hellraisers, and I heard they went down in quality as they got to Hellraiser 13 or whatever they finally got to. But
Yeah.
um,
He was an interesting guy.
yeah,
He was a really interesting dude. And I think that he was really into S&M, at least from, like, I heard an interview on NPR, I think, one time
about
with
Clive Barker.
yeah,
Oh,
I could be misremembering, so don't hold me to this, everyone.
he's not.
But
He's never going to see this. You can say whatever you want.
he won't sue me, I hope.
Nah.
But yeah, I think he was, and I think a lot of that was sort of about exploring that. And I think he ended up not being crazy about it, weirdly, but he was really interested in it. I think more from a, I don't know, sociological point of view, I guess.
Yeah. One film. Speaking of the the sexuality thing, I thought It Follows. That I One thing I liked about It Follows was the originality of the concept.
Yes.
That it was a sexually transmitted disease, and I thought that was really well done. Um, I I don't know that it necessarily scared me, but I thought it was a good kind of gripping thriller type movie that I thought deserved all the praise that it got. And if anybody out there is wondering what the kind of movies are, I'll let Jen say right after I say. But the kind of movies that I like, that as far as scary movies go, you know, I don't like slasher movies, but I confided in Jen a couple days ago that I like things that are unseen, and a lot of people don't think this movie is scary, but this movie scared the heck out of me, and that's the first Paranormal Activity. And now everybody's gonna go, "Oh, that movie's not scary. You're a little girl, Jazz. What a wussy." No, man, you can't see anything in there, and everything's when that Ouija board catches fire in the shape of a pentagram, and
Yeah.
the picture behind the glass, the guy's face gets burned out, and the expert from UCLA comes in and goes, "Oh no, I can't come in here, man. The vibes are way demonic. I'm not coming in here."
That's
And
always the best when it's like the expert comes in,
yeah,
whoever it is, it's like, you know, some kind of shaman or something. And they're like, I can't come in here. This
yeah,
energy is too crazy. And then they end up oftentimes coming in anyway to show you just how freaky it is and how they're freaked out. And it's their first time being freaked out. That always kind of gets me too. And I saw that film for the first time like not too long ago, Paranormal Activity.
uh-huh,
And so I missed that initial push of, you know, of that. There were already all these sequels out. I tend to miss things until way later, and then I get totally into them. when no one else is any longer. They're over it. But I thought it was excellent. I thought it built the suspense
Yeah.
in a way. Yeah, I thought it built the suspense in a way that was really super effective.
Well,
And
it
then when
did
it
it.
took place in their home, it was
Yeah.
so crazy.
It
Yeah.
did its job, man. It scared me. I mean, I was freaked out. I was just, it was demons and things that you couldn't see, and these people, things were happening to them. You couldn't explain it, and that's the kind of movie that gets me, when it's stuff you can't see and it's demons. And I was like calling my wife at work saying, "You're coming home early. I don't care. Leave work at 5. Get home right now." And because I was at home alone watching it, and I was like affected by that movie. But that's the kind of movie that freaks me out, which is good. I mean, that's what I want. I want to be affected by it. I want to be freaked out by it. I'm trying to think of some other movies that really affected me to
In
the
that
point.
way.
Um,
I'm trying to think of, because I saw something recently where, oh, actually, this is not even, this is like a real story about like a real monster, but I watched the Ted Bundy tapes
Oh,
recently.
I don't think I could
That
watch that. That's too real life.
yes, it was very real life. It was super scary. I found, in addition to things that I can't see, like psychopaths and sociopaths scare the hell out of me because
Yeah.
they they really like they're sort of missing this piece which is
Hmm.
like makes you fully human, and so you have no idea what they're capable of. So yeah, I mean that night I definitely did a like a thorough like cleaning and looked through my closets.
Yeah, I
And
bet.
it's bizarre, but that was the last thing that really scared me, although that was real life. And I think one film that I constantly bug Jess to see is called The Wailing,
Yeah.
which is a Korean film, and I think it's super effective. It's super you like you feel so close to these characters and you care about them, and everything is so confusing, and he's so logical, and then kind of moves over to being, you know, just sort of like as scared as everyone else. And he's constantly trying to like shove it into a logical state of, like a logical sequence of events, and none of it makes sense. And so I think I really like that because I think most of us come to those movies going like, at least, like I feel safe, I feel grounded, so I can watch these movies and it's sort of like just this fun experience that's distant from me. So, but anyway, I really related to that character and it was really terrifying.
Yeah.
So,
I need to see that. I know that's one of the movies, like, for the past 6 months before we even decided to put this show together, that you've been bugging me to see. I need to see that.
yeah. Yeah.
Um, a movie that I saw that I didn't find terrifying, but I found interesting, and I know it's a remake, and you and I have been trying to watch the original, which is apparently much better, is The Ring, with Naomi Watts, I think, is in it. And I thought that was an interesting premise, and I enjoyed watching it. I thought it was at least good. I thought it was worth watching.
Yeah.
I can't say how good it was compared to the original, but you said the original's on YouTube.
The original is on YouTube. I don't know how I'm sure somebody put it there
Well, YouTube
without
does
the.
have its own movie selection now.
Yeah, yeah. And it's free. It's accessible at least for right now. I mean, I haven't checked it like today, but it was there the last time I looked. And so
Hmm.
and it was subtitled in English. So that would be a really cool one to watch. And I heard I can give you my dime store research that I did on the film, which I think is called Ringu. I think that's what the original is called.
Oh yeah, you like to do research. That's something about Jen, that she loves to do research.
I do. I love to do research. And obviously, this is stuff that you can find yourself by just going online. But I will do the work for you. I love that. It's part of my experience. If I see something good, I'm immediately online, like just researching, things for the rest of the day. When I saw The Shining, which I saw a little piece of when I was really young, and it scared the hell out of me, so I stayed away from it. But I watched it recently the whole way through, maybe like 2 years ago, and I thought it was visually was gorgeous. And most of the fun, at least for me, with The Shining is the kind of stories behind it and all of these crazy theories. And there was a film made about those theories. Have you seen this? I don't know if you know about this, but
Um,
I then immediately watched that.
I've heard about it because there's so many different interpretations of what all those different things are in it. I remember, okay, with The Shining came out when I was still in college, and I remember, let's see, I moved out here late 80s. There was a whole newspaper article in the Sunday Washington Post about how it was an actual treatise on the treatment of the American Indian.
That's what you know what? And it's weird when I saw, like, when I heard the person talking about it, it it made a lot of sense. I don't know. Did you think that was a crackpot theory, or
No,
how do you?
I didn't think it was a crackpot theory. I hadn't seen that in the movie, but the author, the writer of the article cited multiple things in the movie to support his theory. And so I didn't think it was crackpot at all. That's what he got out of the movie, and that's what he sourced, all these different scenes that were treatment of Native Americans. And I was just like, whoa, how did he get that? But he
Yeah.
supported it. And so I can imagine that there are other things that you can pull out of that movie too.
Yeah, a lot of it was kind of about the location and how, there are impossible, like when the kid is like riding his little, I guess, I don't know what that is, a little baby motorcycle thing that you have to move with your feet. I'm
Oh, the
totally
big
blank.
wheel?
Big wheel. Thank you. When he's like doing that, he's moving in directions that are impossible. So it's like when you and there are people who are like, maybe that's an oversight, and people were like, Stanley Kubrick doesn't make oversight. He doesn't. There's nothing. Everything is intentional. So I thought that was really cool. Kind of like having this sense of, like, I don't know, like some giant cube that's always moving, or also just not having a sense of where you exist in space. I thought that was a really cool thing that I paid attention to, like when I watched it again, and I was like, oh my God, yeah, this is so bizarre.
See, this is what the show is going to bring. To those of you who are wondering, this is my ace in the hole. Jen is my ace in the hole. She is going to be, not only is she an expert in watching horror films, but she's a research expert. And we're not going to be talking about how great the cinematography is or plot. Well, we'll talk about plot and story and things like that. But we're going to be bringing you all kinds of interesting facts and side stories and research that you won't get anywhere else except right here, OmniDog's Vault, a walk in the woods at midnight. So, anything else that you think the viewers should know about what this amazing show is? I want to make one thing clear. I have absolutely no background whatsoever except for the fact that I like movies. So I'm not even going to pretend that I went to film school. I'm not even going to pretend that, my knowledge of comic books way outweighs my knowledge of movies. I only know that I like to be scared and I like scary movies. I did take 2 film classes in college 40 years ago. From
And
what
that's
I
the extent of your expertise.
That's the extent of my expertise. From what I recall, I saw movies about some kid with a red balloon. I saw a movie. We saw all French movies. I saw some kid with a red balloon. I saw some kid about something on a bike, and then some kid who always longed to go to the beach because he thought he would get freedom, and he ran up onto the beach and realized that the ocean had him trapped. He couldn't go any further.
These were all films with kids, French films with kids in them. Is that what?
Oh yeah, they were. Yeah, they were. And and I learned the importance of the color red in movies. I remember watching American Beauty, and that's the first thing that popped out at me was the red door in the house where Kevin Spacey and Annette Bening lived, and I said, "Uh-oh, that family's not happy," and that that family wasn't happy.
Yeah, that is really interesting. I mean, and I have no film background either. I haven't shot anything ever. This is the first time that I'm talking video that's being recorded. So yeah, I don't have any expertise there, but I think we bring a lot of passion to this, and I think that it's kind of, I don't know, maybe it's fun to watch people who don't have a background in it talking about it, because for those of you who aren't film aficionados, we definitely might be your people.
Yeah, I think that we can relate to you and just tell you what movies we think are fun and interesting, and maybe we can help you discover some movies that you didn't know were out there. We can help you discover some movies that you didn't know were quality movies that are worth watching. And we will certainly never talk down to you, because we don't have.
How would we?
Yeah. So our job is to be the average regular moviegoer, bringing the scary movie to you and telling you, did we like it, and would we recommend it, and what did we like about it? And so we'll present it to you in a way that is entertaining and charming.
Of course.
Of
Because
course.
Jess is on the show.
Oh yeah, right. That's sure, that's me. So we will be trying to bring these to you every Saturday, and we're going to start out with one movie, and if that is not enough, we'll go to 2 movies a week.
That's right.
And if it was up to Jen, we'd do 5 movies a week. But I
have spare time. I love.
Yeah, Jen is
to do it. Yeah.
Jen is the real movie buff.
Definitely. Horror movie buff.
Okay. Right. Okay, so please tune in and watch A Walk in the Woods at Midnight, and we will see you on Saturdays. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you for being my co-host, Jen.
Thanks.